Hey everybody, this is your Digital Super Saiyan 3 back here with another video. And, you know, I've been thinking a lot about villains I want to see in the universe of Matt Reeves' The Batman. And, I still have sort of Batman fever, if you will. And still thinking about the universe of Matt Reeves' Batman and basically deciding what villains I want to see in the universe of the Batman or in a sequel to the Batman. And I just picked 5 out of the many enemies that the Dark Knight has taken on over the years across comics and all of media. Before I get into my picks the for the villains I wanted to actually wanted to see on the big screen, I'll go over some honorable mentions real quick, rattle off some quick ones. First up, the Joker. If you didn't see the ending of the Batman, you probably have guessed that the Joker cameoed, or not cameo, but like sort of we sort of got a glimpse at him, even though it was behind the door of a cell. We still sort of got a glimpse of the Joker, so we definitely know he's in the universe and probably saved for a later sequel. And also, the only reason he's not on the actual list is because we've had many live action interpretations of the Joker. But I still am interested in wanting to see Joker, nonetheless. Joker's my guy. Next up we got Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul. It would be interesting to see what Matt Reeves can do with Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, if you will. I wouldn't mind seeing Ra's and his League of Assassins be portrayed in the movie. I mean, yeah, the last time Ra's had, like, a big movie role was in the Dark Knight trilogy by Christopher Nolan. So I would like to see Matt Reeves' interpretation of Ra's on the big screen. Next up, Two-Face. Yeah, we've had 2 different actors portray Two-Face. Tommy Lee Jones in 1995 and Aaron Eckhart in 2008's The Dark Knight. Poison Ivy. Yeah, this is just another one I'm rattling off. I mean, if there is a character I probably want to see get redeemed in live action, it's definitely Poison Ivy, because the last time she was touched in live action was in 1997, and the same could be said for Mr. Freeze. So, yeah, these are 2 I'm just rattling off. Next up is Maxie Zeus. Um, I definitely think there is some potential for this character, Maxie Zeus. We might eventually see a sequel with Maxie Zeus. Black Mask. I definitely want to see the Black Mask interact with Batman in a movie. Yes, he's already had a movie appearance in the Birds of Prey movie, but I didn't see Birds of Prey, but I heard he was in it. Next up, we got the Scarecrow, Hugo Strange, Harley Quinn, Professor Pig, the Court of Owls, and Man-Bat. Okay, those are all of my honorable mentions. And now we go on to the actual top 5, since I just rattled off all the honorable mentions. First off, number 5, we got Firefly, aka Garfield Lynns. Former special effects expert turned pyromaniac. I would love to see them do an arsonist story of Firefly. I would love to see them actually have Firefly fly on his jetpack and use his flamethrower that he uses against Batman. Because he's all about fire, and I would love to see, Firefly be brought to life in this universe. It'd be interesting to see what Matt Reeves could do with Firefly. And another villain who I think should have been in a movie but has never been in a Batman movie or any live action Batman films at all is the Mad Hatter. Now, the Mad Hatter was an almost antagonist in a live action Batman movie, which was supposed to be a film that was supposed to come out in 1999 called Batman Triumphant, which was supposed to be the third film made by Joel Schumacher. But because of how bad Batman and Robin did back in 97, plans for Batman Triumphant were canned, including old Jarvis Tetch as a possible villain. But we still keep hope alive one day that we would see our favorite Wonderland obsessed madman actually appear on the big screen. And since I've been rewatching the Batman animated series, I basically have found a new appreciation for the Mad Hatter. Like, the Mad Hatter originally was not one of my favorites, but now I'm starting to actually like the guy and actually have hope for one day to actually see Jarvis's Wonderland obsessed grin on the big screen, or his big mug on the big screen. I just want to see Jarvis on the big screen. I would love to see his whole Wonderland theme come out. Next up at number 3, we have Clayface. Oh man, talk about a character who has never been in a Batman film at all is Clayface. And I am surprised they have not done this shape-shifting mud monster yet. I mean, we haven't we don't know how long Reeves is going to do his Batman, or what more his Batman's going to do, but if they are going to plan to do Basil Karlo's Clayface, I'm not going to be surprised if they are going to use Basil Karlo's Clayface. Because Clayface, there were multiple Clayfaces. There was, for example, like I said, Basil Karlo, Matt Hagen, Ethan Bennett, Preston Payne, and there was a lady Clayface too. And I only threw in Ethan Bennett because I remembered the 2004 Batman cartoon called The Batman, which had nothing to do with the Matt Reeves movie. But yeah, I would love to see this giant mud monster actually make his big screen debut. It'd be awesome to actually have Killer Croc in this universe. Or, I mean, Clayface in this universe. Sorry. Clayface, not Killer Croc. Number 2 is the Ventriloquist and Scarface. Arnold Wesker, aka the Ventriloquist. Yeah, I would love to see him actually appear as, like, a rival for the Penguin, as he's, like, trying to fight over the turf over who gets to run the roost of the Gotham City Mafia of the Gotham City mob. And I figured, why not the perfect person to take over the mob in the vacuum that was left by Carmine Falcone's death was none other than Arnold Wesker and his dummy Scarface. Now, Scarface and Ventriloquist's split personality really works so well. Like, of you seen Arnold Wesker having this one personality being a total punching bag, and the dummy having the, well, dominant personality of him being in charge and coming up with all the grand schemes of things. I mean, I would love to see Arnold Wesker, or I would love to see the Ventriloquist and Scarface on the big screen, because we have not seen them in a big screen movie role, so I feel like they are villains that definitely deserve a chance to shine on the big screen. I would actually love it to actually see this duo of the Ventriloquist and Scarface. And my number 1 pick is Killer Croc. Now, yes, I know Killer Croc was already in the Suicide Squad movie from 2016, but hear me out on why I think another live-action Killer Croc should happen. I think because we never actually saw him interact with Batman, despite the fact that he is a Batman villain, or did he? I forgot the opening of that Suicide Squad movie. I only saw it once, and yeah, but I would love to see Killer Croc actually appear in a Batman title, because he is part of Batman's Rogues Gallery after all. I mean, he's a big, heavy reptile man who was born with reptilian-like traits. Name Waylon Jones. Killer Croc is also the most savage of Batman's villains, as he's like the most animalistic of all of Batman's villains. Like, sure, he's not as evil as the Joker is, or psychotic, but he's more of a animal that will eat you type of bad. But he is still pretty bad though. But yeah, I would love to see Killer Croc actually go into a sequel for the Batman. I mean, hell, if Gotham's already like if it's still flooding in that universe, I'm pretty sure we will see Killer Croc and we might see the Batboat come into play. So I have hope, though. I have hope we will see Killer Croc. Maybe he might appear in the Arkham show, but maybe I hope he appears in a future sequel. And those are my picks for Batman villains that I want to see in a future sequel. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Bane. I forgot to write down Bane on the list, but you know, that's just me. Anyway, yeah, this has been your Digital Super Saiyan 3, and I will see you guys later. See ya!